Hi everyone, my name is Sambit Das. I stay in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for attending my session. In this session, I will cover the end to end study of attrition in a company, starting from the data set and covering data cleanup, modeling, and building management dashboards that recommend retention strategies to the senior management. I've created this personalized attrition recommendation system after many months of part-time after office work. So I hope you like it. So let's go to the agenda for our session. So my agenda here covers first an overview of the model for purposeful analytics, and this is inspired from the work of Jonathan Ferrer and his book called The Power of People, where he has suggested a 8-step process for doing any analytical project in a company. I will be taking through all of those steps in subsequent slides. So I'll not go into too much detail right now, but yes, for the attrition case study, we will go through and touch the business case, the hypothesis, and then we'll go into the data, do a exploratory data analysis, and then go into modeling. But I would also like to show you how we can also introduce recommendations to an attrition model and embed that into the change management, and also hopefully I'll give you a live demo of attrition predictor first in Shiny app, and then I will show you a published deployed website URL where we can go through that model as well. So here's the 8-step process that I was talking about. Jonathan Ferrer is a respected consultant and speaker and author also on HR strategy. And his book, The Power of People, articulates a very process-oriented 8-step steps for carrying out a project based on analytics. And I really found it very useful because it really gives a sense of purpose as to organizing your analytics work in a project. So the first 2 steps talk about why we are doing the project. Then the next 4 steps talk about why or how should the project be carried out, and what tools and what are we trying to achieve from the project. And the last 2 steps talk about what will result from the project. So what are we doing after we have deployed the project? What are we trying to do? How do we measure the outcomes of a project? So each of these steps is something that I'm going to cover in the subsequent slides. So let's just go to the steps. So the first step is understanding the business question. So I find it very important that any analytics work that even I do any research or develop a case study, I always start with what am I trying to achieve or what am I trying to solve. So in this attrition case study, we have developed 4 key business questions. First, trying to understand the financial impact of attrition, and for that I will show you attrition calculator, cost calculator, and I've taken some feedback from different company colleagues. So I hope that we can go through that first, and it will hopefully give you a sense of how we can calculate the cost of attrition. The next one is the company wants to understand the proportion of staff leaving and the variance with time. Attrition drivers are also another significant part of our study. So through our modeling work, we are hoping to find out whether some of the variables like overtime or a specific job is driving more attrition than the others. And finally, the company would like to understand what kind of the business decisions or retention strategies that they can implement to retain and retain the top performers or the people who they would really not like to lose. So the next step for us, after we set up a business question, before we go into a modeling work, we define the hypothesis, and hypotheses are like statistical statements that drive the data analytics work. In this case, the null hypothesis means that there is no significant predictors for attrition, and all the data, the attrition data is very uniformed, and people from all different factors, due to all different factors, they are leaving the company, or there's an alternative hypothesis which says that out of all the factors, maybe 5 or 6 factors are really driving attrition. For example, overtime, is it or is it driving attrition for a particular department, combined with if the person is having X years of experience, he or she is more likely to leave. So these are the things that we would like to understand. So after we have developed the hypothesis, I guess that then the next step is to go into the data and the EDA part. So for our data, in the case study, I have used the IBM data set on attrition. So it's freely available. It's publicly used by a lot of consultants for their work. So and the IBM data set contains over 50 columns of data, and it's really a very good data set to try your hands on. Apart from the predictor variable, which is the attrition, it contains a lot of fields like age, let's say, and how much travel this person or an employee is doing, on the salary, the department's distance from home, education, job levels. So there's a lot of information here. I know of companies, when I read case studies, I have also seen that companies even study more than 70, 80 employee fields to determine which variable is actually predicting, attrition. So this is our data set. So once we have gone through this data set, the next part is starting to go through the little bit into the details of analyzing what the data set shows. So in this particular chart, the left hand side is basically showing us the hires over the last 4 years, when I from the sample data, that we can see that this for this retail company, they really hire a lot during October and November period. So you can see the spikes here over the years, and that's because this is the festive season, so they tend to hire a lot of graduates during this time. But you can also see that from the so this is the years of hires. So you can see this is another view and in R, and it is just giving you a similar view of that they have been hiring a lot over the subsequent years, which is good to see. The next table here, what I've tried to do is I have tried to factor the attrition data based on the department and the job role, and I've tried to identify how much percentage of people are leaving within a job role and within a department. And this is summarizing the attrition data by job role and department. I've also tried to benchmark it against industry KPI. So for in your company, if you would like to benchmark it against KPI, then you could say whether this kind of job attritions happening in a department is actually above the industry average or below the industry average. So this is kind of trying to identify and benchmark against company attrition data. The correlation analysis found some interesting ones. So what I found out here is that, for example, people who are active and who are terminated in the first part here in the length of service, they are actually between 0 to 1 years. You can see that people who are young in the company, between 0 to 1 years of in the company, they are actually leaving a lot, and they are being of course hired, but they are the people who are leaving the most. So this is not good for the company, which means that definitely there's some things going on the onboarding part which they really need to improve on. That this particular the second part of this chart here is showing about the age distribution on the termination. So you can see that people who are between 20 to 30 years of age, they tend to leave more than people who are over 40. So this was an example of trying to determine already what factors are driving the attrition. So this is called correlation analysis. Now, if you remember, we had in one of our business impact business frame questions, we had identified that the company wants to determine the attrition cost calculator. So here's the example of a attrition cost calculator. Let me show you something, that an Excel sheet here. So let's see if I can just fine tune that to show you. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so this is taken from a retail company, and you can see that the employee turnover cost is divided into a couple of areas. One is the direct cost. So when a person leaves, then you are providing salary for severance, which is around 4 weeks of annual leave, and then you are there's a cost of advertising, and then there is HR admin work, um, interviews, onboarding, skill development. This is all mapped for one of our companies here. So this is all the cost um, associated with that. Then we have lost productivity for the time that we are trying to hire someone. We For the positions that for the number of days the position is open, we are losing productivity for that. So we have said that um, we are giving that cost figure to those number of days. But also, if someone is hired, so for some days this person will be working for only 50% effective 50%. I mean, the person will not be expected to work 100% of the person he was replacing, right, on the first day. So this is what we have quantified in this calculator. So there is a lost productivity value throughout the year, and then we have tried to capture the savings. So of course, if someone is left, then we are also saving on the salary. So for the time of days the work position was open, so let's say it was 30 days we took to replace a person, so then we saved 3000 on an average for that role. So what's the turnover cost per employee? So you have direct costs, you have lost productivity cost, and then you have savings. So if you add these two and subtract the third one, then you get a total cost. And then if you have 49 people, for example, in the company who have left in a year, then you multiply that cost, and you arrive at your cost of attrition. So this is just a sample view of how to arrive at a cost calculator for your company. You can model this, and I'm happy to share this with you, so that you can work it out yourself, and then define it against in a dashboard. So this is how you can visualize it for the senior management, and they would really appreciate this kind of breakdown, because this will really help your cause to support a attrition modeling project. So if you are able to reach this stage and say to the business, to the senior management, look, we have this kind of money that we are losing on attrition on a year to year basis. So are we able to then go beyond and do modeling and identify what kind of recommendations and decision making we need to do to save some part of this costs. So the next step for us is the modeling part. So in this case study, what I have done is I have ran a logistic regression model on the training data set to identify if there's any significant predictors, and I found that overtime and job level were the two most significant predictors. And using that regression model, I also predicted the turnover status on the test data set, with 84% accuracy. So the test data set was something that I did not give the status to the model. I just said that these are all the variables, and let the model predict whether this person is leaving or not. And when I compared the attrition predictions by the model with the actual data I had of the status, so that is how I arrived at 84% accuracy. So the model was I guess not that bad performing with 84% accuracy. But for my model that I deployed online, I used the H2O automated modeling to select the best machine learning model, and then I selected that model, downloaded that, and I'm using that model. So okay, so next step right? So we have gone through the modeling part, and the next step was to identify a recommendation strategy. But before we able to determine a recommendation strategy, we would like to first understand what are the key factors that are playing a role in attrition. So this chart here shows you that out of all the variables, or in the IBM data set, these are the important ones, like the overtime job level 1. You can see job level x2, job level x1. So x1 means it is a particular job level which is attracting a lot of attrition numbers. Okay, so the red ones are supporting attrition, and the left part are all, they don't support the attrition that much. So so we can have we are already having a sense of what are the variables that are impacting attrition. So we have to develop a recommendation strategy around those variables, like what do we do to support someone who is working overtime so that this person doesn't leave, or what do we do with a person who has a job level x1 and because he's likely to leave, or his income is low, or the person is having x years of in the company already. So this is where we have to identify first what the variables are. Now the next step for us, what I have done here is I've tried to group the variables into strategy groupings, and this is something that is inspired from the work of Matt Dencho in his course. I have basically tried to update or make some changes in that recommendation sheet, but this is where you will see that you have different types of variables: overtime, distance from home, frequent business travel. These are different parameters. I've tried to group them into work life, and then in that work life category, whoever comes in and is likely to leave, this is the strategy. So we are trying to recommend that the company reduce the overtime but also manage business travel time. They have a discussion with the person, and then work out some things that is supporting the or addressing these issues. Then the same thing for years at company or time enroll. These kind of variables are more around professional development, so I've grouped them into professional development category or strategy. And then inside that, the recommendation strategy could be either to incentivize or do a job role rotation. The last kind of grouping is the job satisfaction, job involvement variables, and they were grouped into personal development strategy. And then the recommendation we would like to explore for personal development would be providing training, mentorship roles, and etc. So how does that all connect? So this is how it connects here. So for example, every variable that we saw in the first slide around recommendation strategy development, where we had all those key fields that were driving attrition, each of them I have kind of mapped it here along with their strategy. What should be their strategy? So for example, job level, promote faster for high performers. Income, we may not address some variables, we might be able to address some, and they are then grouped into strategy groupings here. So you can see, and the idea here is using this calculation sheet, I am building the recommendation platform. So this is where I am going to show you how that tool or that app looks like. The next step for me was to identify how to get our point across in the project. So whatever we found out, is very important that the project sponsor is championing this analytics cause, otherwise it goes nowhere. So change management training and explaining what how the application is predicting results based on what's the underlying data set, how does it come, and what kind of data predictions modeling it went through to showcase this, drives confidence and trust in the application. So that is very important that we go through that process. And so then let's come to the live demo part, which is exciting. So I'm definitely showing you my first of all my R code. So this is something I have developed here. If you can look at it, this is some part of it is, as I said, is taken from my learnings from the YouTube channel Data Professor. So I built the UI, the Shiny app tool, using that learning, and I built it myself. So let me show you the app itself. So this is the Shiny app. Let me bring it here. I hope you can see it now. Yeah, so this is the app. So when it runs, you can see that it will recommend whether the person is highly likely to leave or not, with a elevated risk prediction and a low risk prediction. So this person is not likely to leave, and it gives the job, role, department, education. But in this chart, it is also going to show you whether what are the factors that are supporting attrition and what are the factors that are not supporting attrition. For example, this person is not working overtime, which means that that's why he's not the system is not predicting that he is likely to leave. Okay, so, and it is a 78.78, you can see probability. So there's a 78% confidence that this person is not going to leave as per the model. Let's see, we'll go into some other another employee. Okay, so for the next employee, it also predicted, but this time also it predicted even very high, even 97%, that this person is not going to leave. Okay, so I forgot to show you the management strategies. So this is where the management strategies come into play. You remember how each of those variables, I was mapping them to a strategy group. So in this case, because you can see there is overtime, some of these factors are all supporting. So in this case, there is no attrition risk here, but some of it is incentivize, specialization, retain and maintain, and seek mentorship role. This is coming because we have stock option level and relationship satisfaction is low. So the red means it is contradicting the prediction of no attrition, right? So these are the red ones are the only ones that are shifting towards attrition, even though it is a low figure. So the management strategy is catering to those red items here. Okay, so this is what it is. So it's important to understand that part. So let me go back to our slide. So this was the Shiny app, but that's not all. So I want to show you a live website that I've created. So using the Shiny apps here. So let me this is the Shiny apps IO. So you can publish your models online. So I have used it, use Shiny apps to basically publish and deploy my model. So I'm just reloading the application. I hope it works. All right, so it takes a little bit time to produce all the results, but hopefully it should work. Okay, excellent. So you can see this is a pub deployed tool. So I can actually give you this website URL, and you can open it on your mobile phone, or it is live. This is live, so you can access it anytime. So let me show you one employee that the system is now predicting. Hopefully maybe, yeah, this is the right one. So you can see that this the model is predicting this person is leaving, is likely to leave the company, and there's a risk prediction of 58.86%. And what are the variables that are supporting this prediction is that the person is working overtime. Number of companies this person has worked is more than 4, and this person is also working in the job level 1, for example. And also this distance from home, as you can see, is more than 13.8 kilometers. So the management strategy is going to cater to those problems. So we can see that you can see that because of the distance from home factor, there is an improved work-life balance strategy that we have to explore with the person. Retain and maintain is to do with the professional development features that are related to the job that I mentioned. Sorry, also it is to do with the overtime, because the person was working overtime, and of course then there's the personal development plan. So I've tried to, map those recommendation strategies that we had seen into this attrition dashboard. So this is how, you can develop this kind of dashboards using the model that you have developed. And it's still, for me, is work in progress, but I'm very excited that I was able to build this for the presentation. So that's me. Thank you so much for attending my session. And again, I'm sorry that I couldn't join in person and live, but I would really be delighted that if you contact me for any questions you have. I'm always open and available on LinkedIn, so please feel free to connect with me. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Cheers.